David, I was too young to appreciate him, but I'm watching a lot of Larry Bird documentaries and videos lately. Where do you guys see Larry Legend in the Pantheon of all-time greats? Listen, he was my all-time favorite, so you're going to get the most biased fucking answer in the world, David. There was never and will never be another Larry Bird. This
Because he was so fucking ugly.
absolutely correct. He was the tribal chief, the ugliest tribal chief ever, because of his limited athleticism. All the numbers you could talk about, all the what he averaged in assists and boards. He was 6'9". He was never the tallest guy on the court. He never jumped the highest. He never ran the fastest, but he worked the hardest for the ball. And the most clutch player I've ever seen in my life. As long as he was on the court, if you were wearing a different uniform, I don't care how many points you were ahead, you weren't safe. It was like a superhero on the court every time you watched a game with him in it because he could save the day.
He was deceptively athletic. He had one of the fastest releases. He would fucking tell a guy to come out, come out, come out, come out, come out. And the guy would come out and fucking Bird would fucking shoot it. And the guy'd be like, motherfucker, next time he fucking shoots, I'm getting it. And they never would. It was just like, I've seen
Passing, as much emphasis on passing as shooting, and he was one of the greatest shooters of all time.
If I had to pick one of those two guys from that era, boy, it's a very hard pick for me to pick between Magic and Bird. I think that.
Wouldn't it depend on the rest of the team? The other four
Well, no,
guys.
I'm just saying. I think that Jabbar was better, of course, than I think that than McCallum and
Parrish.
and Parrish for that era. So that whole era, like with the, if you want to see a documentary, if you're watching the Bird documentaries, watch that fucking Bad Boys documentary.
The Pistons.
The Pistons. Because I mean, you're talking about that was when Isaiah and Rodman says at first, where if he wasn't a white boy, he wouldn't even be talked about. And but I don't know. I he's not in my top 10.
Who isn't?
Bird.
You're insane.
He's not my top 10.
The entire team was better if you, which you can't say about Jordan.
What's that?
Jordan was capable of remarkable individual performances. More so maybe than anybody I've watched, but Bird made the entire team better. He consciously got people involved.
God, what did somebody say the other day? It was on a sports show. They were talking basketball. They were talking LeBron and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Look at that Celtics team. Parrish, McHale, Danny Ainge. Not the top echelon of the NBA. And those were world championship teams. And it was because Bird, they built it around Bird.
I think that they did a really good job, especially Auerbach and that whole crew always did a really good job of putting. And when you watch the Piston thing, they had Adrian Dantley until they got rid of Dantley and brought in Mark Aguirre. Like, and they were like, "Oh my God, this guy was poisoning fucking Dallas." It's just like you have to have the right pieces, like. Rodman was so essential to that Piston team, and then you take Rodman and you put him with Jordan, and it's like that was like another fucking, and that was that piece. It was like taking when Orlando got Grant.
Ho Grant with the glasses?
Yeah, they got Grant when they had when they had Penny and Shaq.
Yeah.
And that was one of, like, to me, that's one of those teams. Like, if I have to pick anybody in an era that like, I just think that Shaq in his fucking prime is the most dominant player that's ever been in the league. Like, just by far. And there's a clip of Shaq, and I'm not talking 400-pound Shaq. I'm talking like 312-pound Shaq, and he's playing one-on-one with Jordan. Jordan can't do shit with him, and they're just playing, like, pickup, and it's just like, I mean, that motherfucker. To me, Shaq is the most dominant single factor. And you look at it, as I think his second year they almost won it. Again, they came back, they almost won it. Penny Hardaway got hurt, and then they didn't. Orlando fucked off and didn't give him the money. Jerry West did, and then boom, they picked up Colby and they got 3 straight.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, next question. I could talk basketball all day.